Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Long and I will be your instructor for the summer term in English 10A, 10B, English 12A, and 12B. And I'm very pleased to work with you. It was wonderful to meet some of you at the orientation and I look forward to getting to know all of you. The purpose of this video is simply to walk you through the class to let you know how to use a little bit of Schoology to get you started so you have somewhere to go, particularly if you're a new Schoology user. So I want to first point out that when you arrive on Schoology, you will come to what's called the home page. And if you're taking more than one course, you'll see announcements here for multiple courses, and you will also see updates on any groups that you happen to belong to. When you want to get into the course, you'll go to your Courses tab, and you will choose the course that is appropriate. So it'll list who you are in the course, or which courses you're in, and you'll select the course that you're in. So I'm going to start with English 10A here. When you come to your English class, you'll land on what's called the Updates page, which gives you announcements and information that you'll need for the course. And this might be things like, oh, I found a broken link in this unit, or I found this extra resource for this unit, or just a reminder to be logging on and getting your work done, or just it might be a joke, or just any number of things that you'll find in this update page. So be sure to read the updates. They are usually important things that you really can't miss and can't find anywhere else. So note that. When you log on, you'll also see your calendar, which has due dates for your courses and activities going on. And in the summer term, things are pretty much self-paced, but I have gone ahead and created some due dates as a way of keeping you lined up for where you should be in order to complete the class on time. On your first day today, June 2nd, you should be completing the IOL test and the email assignment. You should also be completing pretests that can give me where to start you, get information about what your background is. And then by Thursday, June 12th, you should be completed with all of these assignments in the first unit, and so forth. So just check the calendar, but it's not hard and fast. Really, what you're going to spend most of your time in would be your materials section. So you'll click on your materials, and you'll find several folders for information. And some of these are welcome folders, and then each of these folders contains the work for 4 different units. Each of the English classes has 4 units. So if you're taking English 10A, you're going to have 1 through 4. If you're taking 10B, you'd have 5 through 8. If you're taking English 12A, same thing, there'll be units 1 through 4. And if you're taking English 12B, then there'll be units 5 through 8. So in each of the units, you'll just click onto the unit and get into the information in there. So let's take a look at the folder with the welcome folder. This is, I can use either the tab here to see what's in it, or I can just click directly on the link. Since I've just clicked on the tab, that little drop down here, I'll point out that there are 3 things in this folder. One is the Start Here, which is where you will find this video. The second is teacher information, and if I click on that, also this way, I'll see the same folders. Teacher contact information is how you get in touch with me, a little bit about my background, a little bit of how to communicate with me most appropriately. I'm not too much a stickler on it. I tend to be more informal, but be aware that this is an online course and you should be using proper etiquette, which you'll learn about. Now if I'm inside a folder and I want to go back to my original folder, I can click and go back here. I can also use the tab keys, and I can use these keys here to maneuver around. So I was looking at some teacher information, found the contact information, and there's a video in here if you want to know a little bit about me, just my background, who I am, how I got to this point where I'm teaching summer school, and a video that includes some pictures of my kids who then fight about who got the most pictures in her video, and just teasing on that, and just so you know who you're working with. So I can go back to the beginning of teacher info and find those 2 things, or I can go back to my head folder, Welcome to English 10. And the folder that you'll really want to pay attention to is the course info and syllabus folder. Inside here you find a PDF document that contains basically the rules of the road. Click on that, and it's how the grading is done, how attendance is done, and so forth. I'll let you look through this primarily on your own, but I just want to point out a few things. This is my contact information. There is a text service that you can sign up for where I will send you reminders via text, because some of you are definitely better with text than with email. This is the instructions about how to get started with the Introduction to Online Learning and Pretests. course content, what you're going to be studying in each of these units, the materials you need, and for each course there may be some hard copy books that you want to get a hold of now so that you have those ready when you're ready to work on that content. The critical thing is that you have an email address that I can check. Each of you has a Jeffco schools.us address. It's your student number at jeffcoschools.us, and that is the one that is best to use for the course, since many of the assignments are connected to Google Docs. So you'll want to use that email address, but definitely one that you check for announcements. A note on the time required: if you're completing all 4 units, you should be logging in every day and completing about 3 hours worth of work each day. Regardless of how you pace yourself, you do need to log in every day of the weekday, Monday through Friday, so that I can count you as present. And you don't have to necessarily do the work that day. You can pace yourself, but we do need to log in we know that you are continuing to make progress. There's some rules here you can read on your own. Pacing: roughly complete 1 unit every week and a half. That's assuming you're doing all of them. You'll start at a 0%, and then each time you complete an assignment, you will be going higher. In other words, your percentage will never drop. You're never going to see your grade plummet. Each time you complete work, your percentage goes up. And the research shows that this is much more motivating, and that's been my experience as well. So in terms of your percentage going up, each week your percentage should increase by about 10%. And then the grades on that will be based on what your percentage is at the end of 6 weeks. If you're just trying to get to passing, you get to your 60%, you're done. If you're trying to get a higher grade because you want to increase your grade point average, you want to replace this with a higher grade, these are the percentages that you need for that. Strongly recommend you check those on a regular basis. Here's some information about netiquette, how you can get along with the online world, and a little bit about integrity, because some of the assignments will require you to use something called Turnitin, which is just a plagiarism checking site, and there's information in the course and in the resources folder. Just a reminder that if you need help on something, be sure to ask. I am not a mind reader, and there's no cyberspace connection other than email or phone that's going to let me know you're having issues. So that is more or less the syllabus. Again, I found that in the folder called Welcome to English 10 under the folder Course Syllabus. Now let's say I want to go back, and I want to go back to my materials, and I want to look on some new information, and I want to get started from there. I'm going to go hit this tab here, or I could go back to this tab and then go from there, but it doesn't really matter. You can also use the arrow here. You're going to choose the unit that you want from your materials, or you can click directly on materials, which I'll go ahead and do. And the first unit you're going to find is called Introduction to Online Learning. And everyone needs to complete this section regardless of what your experience is. We need to have you go through and make sure you understand how to use Schoology, how to work as a successful online student. Many of you are coming, most of you I'd say, are coming from other schools: Bear Creek, Dakota Ridge, Stanley Lake, Pomona. Bear Creek is my favorite, of course, because that's where I graduated from. Just kidding. But you're coming from other schools, and you may not have worked online. So this is the unit, and it's fairly brief, but it will show you the skills that you need to be able to work online. So you'll start with a unit, and you're going to thumb through each page. You're going to use these previous and next buttons to get to the content there. And most pages fairly short. You read through the content, and you process whatever is expected of you. If you're supposed to do an assignment or try something, set your computer up some way. There's a little bit on the shield in this particular unit, and so forth. So back to the beginning of this unit, 4 sessions, and in the last session that you must complete, there are 2 assignments that you need to do. One is email, making sure that you know how to email me and that I received your email, everything's set that way. And the second is an IOL test to make sure that you understand the contents of this Introduction to Online Learning session. So you need to complete those 2 before you do anything else related to English. This is, again, just to make sure that you have the skills you need to succeed online. This is a little bit different for some of you. Once you have completed the Introduction to Online Learning, then you're going to complete the pretest for each section. I'm going to click on Unit 1 here. The pretests are embedded in the units, but they are also available via the calendars on the right side of the screen on the home page. So you're going to click on a test. And the test will give me information about what skills you already possess, because I really want to honor the experiences you've had before. And there are some questions in here that ask you to tell me about your particular previous experiences. If you've read the play, if you've read the book, I may be able to use some of your materials from that session or from your previous class in order to give you credit here. And again, the answers here allow me to see your writing skills, your level of insight. So it's important that you take those pre-tests first. You're certainly welcome to go through all of the courses, course assignment at a time, and complete every single unit. But most students will be able to test out of at least one unit. So it's worth your time to take those. Again, those would be in the materials section under each of the units that you have here. You can also find them again by returning to your home page for the course, which is your updates page, and you'll find the links here on the right side. So you can just link directly to those pre-tests. And that's more or less it. I am here with, if you have questions, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, call me, and let me know what challenges you're having. I really do look forward to working with you and hope that this is a good experience for you, both in English and online. So be in touch. Have a great summer.